February 15th will be a bad day for Mission Impossible fans. Next month brings bad news for action Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible fans courtesy of Netflix. Beginning back in 1996, the Mission Impossible is now on its 8th installment and has since become one of the most popular action movie franchises of all time. Thanks in large part to Tom Cruise and his dedication to putting his own life on the line at any given opportunity for the sake of our cinematic entertainment. But while Mission Impossible 8 aka Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning is due to hit theaters later this year, audiences don't have long to catch up with the beginnings of the franchise as Mission Impossible 2 and Mission Impossible 3 are all set to leave Netflix in February. All three movies, which introduce audiences to Tom Cruise as IMF agent Ethan Hunt in a reboot of the 1966 TV series created by Bruce Geller, will leave the streaming platform on February 15th. So, for those who haven't seen the action movie classics and much like one of Hunt's missions, there is now a ticking clock. Directed by Brian De Palma, the first Mission Impossible finds Ethan Hunt framed for the murder of his IMF team and going rogue, not for the first time, to clear his name. Mission Impossible 2 abandons the noirish sensibilities of the first outing for a full-on action movie courtesy of director John Woo, with the plot finding Hunt facing off with a former IMF agent who plans on stealing a deadly virus. Finally, Mission Impossible 3, directed by J.J. Abrams, kicks off the sort of tone and spectacle that the franchise is now known for, with Hunt assembling a team to take down elusive arms and information broker Owen Davian, played by the powerhouse performer Philip Seymour Hoffman, who intends to sell a mysterious and dangerous object known as the Rabbit's Foot, which intriguingly looks like it'll show up in Mission Impossible 8. The Mission Impossible franchise has gotten better and better with each installment. The first movie boasts a decent score of 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, and while the sequel has the only rotten rating in the series at 56%, Mission Impossible 3 brings things back up again with a score of 71%. The fourth movie is when the action franchise really found its stride with Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible Fallout, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, all landing scores of 94% and above. Here's hoping that the last outing in the series, the aptly titled Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, ends things on a similar high. Directed once again by Christopher McQuarrie from a screenplay he co-wrote with Eric Gendries, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning stars Tom Cruise alongside Ving Rhames as Luther Stickle, Simon Pegg as Benji Dunn, Henry Czerny as Eugene Kittredge, Vanessa Kirby as Alana Mitsopoulos, Haley Atwell as Grace, Palm Clementif as Paris, and Shea Wiggum as Jasper Briggs, as well as Greg Tarzan Davis, Mariella Garriga, Rolf Saxon, Holt McCallany, Nick Offerman, Frederick Schmidt, Mark Gatiss, Charles Parnell, Janet McTeer, Hannah Waddingham, Lucy Tulagarjuk, Katie O'Brien, Trammell Tillman, and Stephen Oyong. Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning is scheduled to be released in theaters on May 23, 2025.